Hello, good evening. So, welcome to the Ask Me Anything. Nice to be here. It's raining in Kerala, pretty heavy. Hope you're able to hear me. It's very loud outside. Can you hear me? So, today, I'm going to talk about something which is an amazing concept in Ayurveda. The concept of Agni. So it's interesting, and it will be nice for you to understand. I'll just give, you know, yep. Thank you, Pragya. So an overview about Agni and how Ayurveda looks at Agni, okay, and how it is related to the Tridoshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. It's a very interesting thing. So let's start. So the weekly sessions, which happens every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's getting very interesting for me also nowadays. Nice. So Agni in Ayurveda. So the word Agni, people might be knowing Agni means fire. And the reason why fire is so important. Every metabolism happens inside and outside the body. Everything happens because of some heat, and that heat is basically what we consider as Agni. Okay, the process and the metabolism, the complexities of metabolism. It's very interesting to know how Ayurveda looks at Agni. Okay, so let's see what Agni is in Ayurveda. So, Ayurveda by and large revolves around the concept of Agni. Every activity what we do in our life on a day-to-day basis is actually related to Agni and to protect Agni. For example, why do we get up early in the morning? It's basically see that our Agni is well. Why do we sleep early? And what happens when you sleep late? When you sleep late, your Agni goes for a toss. What happens when you take a shower immediately after food? Your digestion is, it is inhibited. What will happen if you exercise after food? Again, your digestion will have a problem. So if you eat over and over, what happens? So everything by and large, every activity, what you do, starting from application of oil, okay, taking a shower, eating food, drinking water, everything is basically revolving around Agni. Okay, so that's the reason why the concept of Agni is very, 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 very important in Ayurveda. And then what? So next is as I said, every metabolic change that happens in the body, it is basically exothermic or endothermic, and any guna we say, if we say that a food is heavy, or a food is light, or food is heat generating, or food is cold, okay, or food is dry, everything is in relation to Agni. So when we say a food is heavy, say 50 grams of curd, okay, and 50 grams of milk, cow's milk, both are basically the same weight. So when we say heavy is also after its digestion. That means after it comes in contact with Agni, what happens to the body? Does it leave the body heavier or does it leave the body lighter? So after consuming something spicy, after digestion, is it heat generating like something like capsicum? Capsicum, it might not be so spicy to the tongue, but after it goes inside, it generates heat. Okay, so basically everything after the digestion is what we take into consideration. Okay. Then what? There are 13 Agnis in the body. This is something that is very important for you to understand. This is slightly theoretical, but it will be good for you to understand there are 13 different kinds of Agnis in the body. The first one, or the most important one, is the Jataragni, or we call the Agni, which is basically digesting your food. And there are 5. Okay, the first one is the Jataragni, the Bhutagni, or the Panchamahabhuta, the 5 Bhutagnis, and the 7 Dhatu, the tissues. I think we actually went through that last time when we spoke about the bone. Okay, you have got 7 dhatus, and one dhatu to the other dhatu. The transformation from one dhatu to the other dhatu happens because of the dhatu Agni. Of all the 13 Agnis, the the powerhouse, or the central Agni, is the Jataragni. If the Jataragni is kept proper, all other Agnis also will get the necessary energy to stay firing. Okay, so keeping the Agni in the belly is the most important thing. Once that goes for a toss, all other Agnis, you mean this is the head office, and all other branches won't be working well. If the head office is taking care, the branches also will take care of itself and it will work really well. So it's very important for you to understand that taking care of the Agni is very important. Okay, so it all depends upon what you eat, what you sleep, as I said before, when you go to bed. Okay, what time you take a shower, whether you take a shower in cold water, what kind of exercise you do. All those things will actually end up deciding how strong or how effective your Agni is. Okay, so Agni, basically when we look into digestion, it is Tridoshic. It's got all the Tridoshas. And we have got, as far as the function goes, we have got Vata divided into 5. And out of that, Samana Vayu is the one which helps in digestion. And Pitta is the Pachaka Pitta, and the Kleda Kapha is the one in the stomach. So when you look at the Agni, the way Agni works, when all these 3, the Vata, Pitta and Kapha, are in balance, only you will have a proper Agni. So what does the Samana Vayu do here? We say Samano Agni Samivastha. It is the one that is the closest to the Agni. So what does it do? So Vata is something that moves. It is the one which actually holds the food. If the fire of the Pitta has to act on something, it has to be held in position, right? So the vessel kind of property, the function of holding the food is basically done by Vata. If the food is not held properly, what has happened is the food comes into the tummy, even before the digestion happens, the food goes. So holding property is basically done by the Vata. Okay, and the digestion per se, the important function of digesting, that is being done by Pachaka Pitta. Pitta is also correlated to Agni. Another word of Pitta is Agni, and Agni is Pitta. So Pachaka Pitta is the one that actually digests the food. So you have got something that is holding, and you have got something that is digesting. But something has to get digested, right? That is Kapha. Okay, if you don't have that Kapha coming in, Kapha is the nutritional part of the Tridoshas. So if you don't have that Kapha in, what will the Vata hold? And what will the Pitta digest? So this is very, very, very important for us to understand that Agni is basically Tridoshic. Okay, so Vata holds it, Vata holds the Kapha, and Pitta actually digests it. And then Vata, what it does it holds it and helps the Pitta digest it, and then it is divided into 2, and the food is into the nutritious part and the food the part that has to be expelled. And the one that actually pushes it down is Vata. So if it is not held properly, is a condition where we call as Grahani, and that can be correlated to IBS. Okay, so understanding Agni is very, and if you are basically what you eat. If what you eat, if it gets digested properly, it gets absorbed and assimilated properly, and that is how your body is built and it stays alive. Okay. So Agni is the one that actually keeps you alive. And so we can look at this, so holding the food, cooking the food, and the food as such. Okay. So everything revolves around the Agni. And when we look at Chikitsa, treatment, what Acharya Charaka says, Kayasya Antaragne Chikitsa, Kaya Chikitsa. That means the treatment for the Agni is basically the treatment. So if you know how to manage your Agni really well, without getting it upset, you will be by and large extremely healthy. Okay, so now we can get into the questions. If you've got some questions, you can ask me. Any questions here? So Agni is basically we consider that to be Pitta, and its quality is it is devoid of the watery aspect, and when that is the quality of the Agni, it is devoid of the watery aspect. It is and what happens is, when in certain conditions, when the Agni gets displaced and when it starts going up, displace and starts coming up, that's when you start getting your heartburn and all those things. And when it starts going down, you will get burning in the lower part of your tummy. So Agni is very important. Agni has to be in its place. So now let me start taking questions. I've started getting a few questions now. Okay, the first question is from Hira, but how to manage Agni for people with slow metabolism? Normally, slow metabolism is seen in people who are predominantly Kapha Prakriti. Naturally, Kapha Prakriti people will have slow metabolism, and that is okay. You don't have to worry too much about it. But in a diseased conditions, when you have got too much of kapha, we call that ama. Okay, that means you ate something which is not very good, or it's very heavy and it's very difficult to get digested. Then you have to resolve two things. See, that is ajirna. When you have got ajirna, never take a shower, never go for exercises. You can probably take a small walk, but never go for exercises. Two very important things. And then you have to fast and see that you don't consume food till that food get digested. Then you have probably can indulge in medicines or water. Water boiled in dry ginger. It's very good to help it digest. You can also take trikatu. That means a mixture of long pepper and dry ginger. You can mix it with honey and have. Sometimes you can also have dry ginger mixed with honey in the morning, empty stomach. Okay. Don't take food until that food gets digested. That's very important. Now, Kavita, how to improve the Agni? Okay, as I said, Agni is something which, by and large, by birth, all of us have, and it gets disturbed only mainly because of the food and activities we do. Okay. And if you are used to eating too much of heavy food consistently for a longer period of time, your Agni will definitely get upset. So food, eat moderately, food which can actually digest pretty fast. Okay, and you can also add a little bit of pepper or things which will make it self-digestive. In that way, you can actually improve your Agni. And don't indulge in activities, as I said. Don't overdo your exercises. Don't do an exercise after food. Don't take a shower immediately after food. Okay, and even when you feel that you're not having a good tummy, don't go for a massage. Okay, take rest and see that your Agni actually comes back by digesting the food. So taking care of the Agni is not a huge challenge. It goes haywire because of the activities we do. Okay, Chetana, I think I've answered the question. Is the same thing, since the Agni is Pitta, how can a Vata Kapha person keep their Agni in check? Okay, when I mean Agni is Pitta, I just let you know that Agni is basically a mixture of all the three. Nothing is a single dosha. It's a predominance of Pitta. So when a Vata Prakriti person has, his Agni is sometimes unpredictable. He'll sometimes feel extremely hungry and sometimes he doesn't feel hungry. That is a typical way Agni behaves for a Vata person. For a Pitta person, his Agni is always good. For a Kapha person, his Agni is always low. Okay, so for a Vata Kapha person to keep their Agni in check, by and large, he will have his Agni, which, as I said, which is unpredictable. You can't do much about it. Okay, you can't change his Agni. You can't make him feel always hungry, or you can make him digest. Sometimes he'll digest food, sometimes he'll not digest food. That is his Prakriti. And Kapha Prakriti person, it will take a longer time for him to digest. So Hira, you can't change Prakriti. Agni, the Prakriti of the Agni also. Now, Shreya, can someone is too much of Agni increased Vata undergo Virechana? Yeah. Okay. So normally there is when there is a condition called Amla Pitta. So Amla Pitta, when it is basically the Kapha the Pitta has been displaced, the Agni has been displaced from the tummy. When it is actually involved with a lot of Kapha, that means it is always good for you to throw it up. That means the Pitta starts coming up. Okay. Urdhvagata Amla Pitta. Then what you do is you should basically give him Vamana. But if it is associated with Vata and it slowly starts going down, then Virechana is indicated. For Adhogata Amla Pitta, Virechana is indicated. Okay, how to take care of Agni properly, being a layman in Ayurveda. So you don't have to think too much about how to take care of your Agni. Agni, frankly speaking, Agni knows how to take care of itself if you don't give it too much of strain. In the sense, if you three things I would say, as I said always, you have to sleep early, sleep on time, get very good rest. Sleep actually takes care of your Agni. And then your exercise, you should do moderate exercise. It says what Laghavam Karma Samarthyam Deepto Agnir. Your Agni becomes it's an appetizer. Exercise is an appetizer if done moderately. Ardha Shaktya, if it's done with half strength. The next thing is you taking a shower. What is it? Snanam Deepanam Ayushyam. It actually promotes your Agni. Snanam. Okay. So your exercise, food, and sleep, if done in properly for a layman, yes, your Agni is well taken care of. And don't go for foods which actually don't suit you. Once in a while is fine, but don't overindulge in food which actually you're not used to. And don't go for too much of heavy foods. Okay, processed food also. How to identify what Prakriti we belong to? You will find a lot of analysis, Prakriti analysis things online. And I would say, Mallikarjuna, you can actually go through that and try to find out what your Prakriti is. Prakriti is both physical, mental, and also active. The way you do your activities, how you're built, how you think, how you talk. Lot of points we take into consideration before we come into conclusion as to what Prakriti you are. And whatever Prakriti you are, don't worry at all. Health is in your hand. Nobody is inferior to anybody. Okay, don't worry. How is Agni made in our body? Hridayjit. Oh, that is a question which I never expected to come. Okay, so Agni is something which is inbuilt. Okay. Because you cannot have a body without Vata, Pitta or Kapha. And that Pitta is basically the Agni and it is inbuilt. Okay, your metabolism is inbuilt because once you are in your mom's tummy, you actually start with a small ball-like thing in the tummy. And slowly as you grow, division happens because of Vata and the mass it's created is because of the Kapha. And the conversion energy, what gets generated is the Pitta and the Agni. So you are basically born with Agni in your system. It's an amazing question, Rudo. So if Kapha people have Ama and then the remedies for the Ama to get digested, how does one know that the Ama has been digested? Do we poop it out? No. See, a Kapha person having Ama, that we call a Samanya Guna. A Kapha person having Ama, that means by and large a Kapha person will have a slow digestion and Ama is also bad Kapha. Okay, so when he is basically feeling too heavy with himself. See, a Kapha person, he goes in his own activities. Okay, but he starts feeling too heavy. He feels lazy. He, without even doing anything, if he feels tired, that means those things are the symptoms of the presence of ama in his system. Okay, so it's not that he pooping it out. Basically, once you increase the Agni part of it, it slowly starts getting digested. He should not consume anything heavy to increase the ama over there. For a kapha person, for a vata person, his ama is there, he cannot do upavasa or fasting. Okay, but for a person with kapha person, he can actually do a little bit of fasting without eating food. Okay, so staying away from food is actually good, but don't resort to exercises. Is it necessary to people every day, even though people constipated since childhood? The texts actually say that after getting up in the Brahma Muhurta, right? Krita Shuddhi has been told. That means you have to do your Shuddhi. In the sense, passing motions every day is what Ayurveda recommends. Okay, but certain conditions like when you constipation, yes, habitual constipation. People with Vata Prakriti will pass motions which are slightly hard and they'll find it difficult to pass. Pitta person pass motions which are basically not well formed and it will be slightly semi-solid, and Kapha person will pass bowel motions which are solid and the so-called banana shape. But passing poop daily is actually the right thing to do, and if you don't do it, it is actually good to do something about it and see that you pass motions on a daily basis. Okay. How about exercising in this season? It depends upon which place. Are you from Coimbatore? I don't know which place of India you are from. If you are still facing summer, then I would say don't do too much of exercise. If you are from Kerala, where the rains have already started, yes, the weather has cooled down. Yes, you can actually do moderate exercises. Okay. Since you are, if you are from a hot place, it is Uttarayana or Adana Kala, where the sun is so hot or nature is so hot that it actually takes energy from you. You don't have to do too much to lose weight until unless you keep on stuffing a lot of food. You feel like probably drinking a lot of water. So you can do all those things which will actually help you lose weight. But if you are still in a place which is very hot, I don't recommend you doing too much of exercises. How to nourish the 7 dhatus? The nourishment of the 7 dhatus starts from the food which we eat. Okay, see, even the lifestyle which you do. See, if you don't sleep at night, we call you have got dhatu kshaya because it is denourishing. It will kill all the dhatus. So even activities, but by and large, it starts from the food you take. The food what you eat should be a balanced food in minimum, and if you see that it digests properly and it gets assimilated properly, all the 7 dhatus will be built one after the other. You don't have to doubt that at all. See that your food is balanced, what you are used to, and then it digests properly. I'm getting too much hungry these days. Is it okay with you? Agree with this? Yeah, if you are a Pitta Prakriti person who sweats too much, who is medium built, a Pitta Prakriti person can feel hunger and he'll be also able to digest food. That's okay. But see that you don't overeat at any given point of time. Just because you can digest food doesn't mean that you should overeat. Remedies to get rid of ama for stubborn bodies, vata. See, remedies to get rid of ama is the same. You have to do Deepana Pachana. Deepana is basically increasing Agni and Pachana is basically digesting it. Okay. So there are activities and food or liquids which are predominantly spicy. Okay, will actually help digest ama. And digestion of, if you have, as you said, if you have got stubborn ama, okay, stubborn body people, vata and kapha. Vata is not basically a stubborn body person. Kapha is basically a stout person. Okay, I don't think they are basically stubborn. Vata person is somebody, you very rarely find too much of ama in a vata person, and that can be actually handled much easier than ama in a kapha person, because his prakriti and the prakriti of ama are both the same. Okay, so you have to do Deepana and Pachana, which might take a few days sometimes, and you have to go on Langhana or light food, and don't give too much of strain to the Agni. Okay. What is the solution for frequent passing of motions 4 to 5 times a day? Is it happening for quite some time? See, passing motions 4 to 5 times a day uh, is sometimes annoying. It all depends upon whether you pass motions immediately after food. If you're passing motions immediately after food, then the correction has to be done from the Vata side. Okay, but if you're passing motions with after some time, might be a couple of hours after motions, then it is something where you have to take care of the pitta. Okay, that means your fire is too high, and you are what do you call, you are digesting the food pretty fast, and your food is pretty loose. And are you somebody who overeats? If you're somebody who is not used to eating spicy food, and if you consume too much of spicy food also, you might pass motion multiple times. In spite of all these things, if you're not doing all these things and still you are passing motions 5, 6 times, and you're not feeling good about it, I think it is right time for you to consult somebody and take some medicines and do probably a little bit of lifestyle changes for you, Mallikarjun. I love mangoes, but I'm pre-diabetic. Can I eat mangoes? Pre-diabetic is a very confusing state, Kavita. Pre-diabetic is actually, in my opinion, is diabetic. Okay, so mangoes, yes, I would say if you want to eat a piece of mango, you can eat it, but I would say eat it along with the food and not as a separate meal. Probably in the lunchtime, you eat a little bit of mango and then continue with your food. I don't want you to eat too much. Okay, and if you're pre-diabetic, see what else you eat. Cut down on your sweets and increase your physical activity also. I had PCOD and obese. Now I'm okay with, but I have loose skin in arms and legs. Can we regain? Oh yes. Okay. What you have to do is you have to slowly start getting a little bit more physically active. You have to build your muscles back, because the skin is something which covers the muscles, and if your muscles are not developed, your skin will slowly start sagging, and probably you would have lost weight too fast. If that is the case, it will take some time for you to regain that skin tone, but it is possible. You slowly start doing exercises. Okay. Yes, cucumber and curd is Virudha. It is not recommended. Okay. Are there any fruit or vegetable that can balance the three doshas just like Triphala? Okay. There is Triphala is sometimes, I would not say that it always balances. Triphala can be made in different forms. For a person who is constipated, you can increase haritaki. For a person who has got too much of cough, phlegm, you can increase vibhitaki. So it depends upon how you make the Triphala. Okay, but 1:1:1 is basically considered to be dosha balancing, and I would not recommend you to take that on a daily basis, because at the end of the day, it's also medicine. Okay, and there, any fruit or vegetable that can balance the Tridoshas is actually a good question, but there isn't any one thing which will balance your Tridoshas. Take it from me. No one food, or no one activity, or no one thought. We are a mixture of lot of activities we do. Okay, you should know what activity will actually balance the Tridosha in you. You should know what food you are supposed to take. If you've got too much of kapha, you cannot take too much of sweet or sour foods. If you've got too much of vata, you cannot take too much of spicy or bitter spirit. So it all depends upon how your prakriti is for you to balance it. So there is not one thing which we can say will balance all the three doshas. I don't know. You have to basically check what quiz she did and where did she did that quiz from. Okay. See, being little fat need not be that she can still be vata if the doshas are slightly out of balance. Okay. So she can be she can be probably kapha vata. She can be, but predominantly vata. I'm not very sure. For vata person, how is a higher Agni or digestion be in various seasons and how to make it balanced? For a vata person, any season you give him, his Agni is basically imbalanced, okay, and unpredictable. But in summer seasons, it's really bad. In hot seasons, really bad. In cooler seasons, it's slightly better. Okay, but any given point of time for a vata prakriti person, we call that he has got Vishrama Agni. That means it is by and large unpredictable. He's sometimes very hungry and he eats a lot, and sometimes he says he's not hungry and doesn't want food at all. So his digestion is unpredictable. Okay, I'm a teacher. Okay, I get okay, you are basically tired. Okay, I understand, but the thing is that you can't stop taking classes is something which I understand. I understand from one aspect of it. But if I look from what does your body tell you? I know that your job is important. The money that comes in is important. All those things. Probably teaching might be a passion also. A lot of things. But what does your body say? If probably all those shouting and all those things actually make you extremely tired and stressful, then it is high time you listen to your body and take steps where you should be able to work around it. Probably you can cut down on your classes you take. You can't keep on going like that. If you feel really tired after taking a class, then how? See, in treatment, what we say is nidana parivarjanam chikitsa. That means avoidance of the causative factor. If taking classes and if it becomes extremely strenuous and that's creating a problem, then how can I tell you continue taking your classes? Let me see how I can work around it. Little bit, yes, you can work around by taking milk and ghee and applying oil on your body, waiting for some time and taking a shower, all those things. That also needs a little bit of time, right? So when your vata is extremely going up, that's the reason why you're getting extremely tired. You have to get that sthira guna in you. You have to be in one place to basically heal. You'll not gain weight because you're somebody who is teaching so much, shouting so much. Your vata is extremely going up, and you might be also running around, and you might be emotionally stressed out. Your vata is extremely high, and if your hormones go here and there, probably you'll start putting on weight. Otherwise, by and large, you'll not put on weight. I would say take things slowly. You need not shout. You have to work around it. I can't tell you to stop working, even though your body is telling you to do so. You have to work around it. Is there any vegetable puriyal that cannot be taken along with the curd? Rice. Also should be completely avoided for dinner even during summer. It can. By and large, I don't think you have to be thinking so much about it. If you curd itself on a regular basis is not good, Gopalakrishnan, first thing. And if you are basically taking buttermilk, then most of the sabjis which you can mix with that and have is okay. Okay, the day you are taking curd rice, sometimes I would say avoid any veggies along with it, have only curd rice. Okay, and normally curd when taken in excess, or we say incompatible foods when taken regularly on a daily basis can lead to skin diseases. What you said is right, Gopalakrishnan. So Avoid sabjis when you take along with curd. What does it mean when there is a painless boil near the anus? The person is constipated. Painless boil near the anus is something which you can ignore, in my opinion. If it has got nothing to do with it, it might only be a skin tag sometimes. I think you can avoid. If otherwise, if it is painful, then it is something where you have to think about it. Okay, it could slowly become not a fissure, a fistula also over a period of time if it is getting infected. Otherwise, something which doesn't have pain, no problem at all, I think here you can ignore it. Ayurveda emphasizes on having ghee but not butter. The difference between ghee and butter is very simple. Butter is called Nava Nita. That means which Nava means new and Nita means taken. That's the Sanskrit word for butter, Nava Nita. That which has been taken afresh. Something which has been taken afresh is heavy to digest. It is good. We never say it is bad. Okay. So when you do something which is supposed to be consumed fresh and in small quantities. Okay. So when you cannot take Navanita, that means freshly taken, fresh. What comes in the market right now is all preserved and kept for a longer period of time. Then the difference between butter and ghee is the moment you heat butter and clarify it and make it into ghee, it becomes lighter. Shelf life actually goes up. You can preserve it for a longer period of time, and it is easier to digest when compared to butter. Massaging gingerly oil to the feet. The massage will actually help you. Gingerly oil is not something which is really cooling. Okay. But if you apply, if there is something called Chandranadi Tailam or Kshiravala Tailam, where you have processed the oil and made it cool. Okay. But only gingerly Tailam is not something which cools the system too much. Okay. You can try some other oil. It can be Chandranadi Tailam or Kshiravala Tailam or something. Okay. Can anybody consume castor oil? Castor oil, if taken, will lead to loose motions. Okay, you can consume castor oil if you feel you're constipated, but castor oil is most suited for people who have got constipation with a dry gut. So for a Vata person who passes motions with difficulty, whose gut is dry, castor oil would be a better option. Does exercise increase Agni? Yes. Okay. Laghavam karma samarthyam deeptognir meda sakshayam. Deeptognir has been told for vyayama. That means Agni Deepti. It increases your appetite. But there's one other thing is that Ardha Shaktya Nishevas, to use only half your strength to do exercise. When you over exercise, your Agni is gone again. That means you are tired. You remember when in sport you go play so much that you are dead tired, you will not feel like eating anything. Your appetite also is gone. In moderation, exercise will increase your Agni. Buttermilk cooking, is it Viruddha, sir? As the curry and one more mango is sour, can be mixed with milk. Mango and milk doesn't go together, first part. And buttermilk cooking is not Viruddha. Okay, curry is not Viruddha. Okay, every part of India we have got different dishes where people heat buttermilk. Okay, and then they add a little bit of turmeric and curry leaves and they heat it. It is actually not bad at all. When cooked, buttermilk which is uncooked, it is light, but when you cook it, it becomes lighter and it's easily cookable, digestible. Okay. Can anybody consume castor oil and how much? Castor oil, not everybody can consume castor oil in that sense. If you just want to take castor oil to pass motions, yes, you can. If you take 15 ml, you will definitely pass motions. If you are somebody who doesn't have constipation at all, 10 to 15 ml will do. But if a person who's habitually constipated, 15 ml might not help, might be 20, 25 ml has to be consumed. Your slow liver, is that why there is difficulty and delay in pooping, constipation? Or no, I don't think that affects too much. But a slow liver means, see, by and large, a slow liver that means your metabolism is slightly on the slower side. A person whose metabolism is slightly on the slower side need not be constipated. Okay, he might pass motions which are not properly digested. Okay, that's what we normally see. Some people say, when I pass motions, I see that my food is not properly digested. That normally happens when your metabolism is low, but constipation might be a very rare phenomenon. Eating paneer and chicken breast high in protein in night so that it helps in gaining or recovering muscle. No. Okay, Shashikar, if you are somebody who is taking up bodybuilding as a sport, then it is fine. But to gain weight, I don't know why do you want to gain weight. First question. Okay, if you are a Vata Prakriti, your strength lies in your body being lean. If you unnecessarily do a lot of things and start putting on weight, then you are actually deviating from your Prakriti. Okay, and a Kapha person is slightly on the plumper side, and that person tries to lose a lot of weight and try to become thin. He is actually deviating from his Prakriti and consuming something which is very difficult to digest at night, in my opinion, is not good for you. If at all you want to eat something that is heavy, consume that in the daytime. Benefits of having jackfruit other than amla, what fruit? See, amla is something which you can consume. And see, fruit wise, people also say pomegranate is something which can be consumed. But the thing is that most of things are seasonal. Pomegranate cannot be stored like that. So whenever you see, I would say amla can be consumed regularly. But if you look, ghee is something which it's not a fruit, but ghee can be consumed regularly. Milk can be consumed regularly. A fruit which can be preserved, a lot of fruits can be preserved, pickled. In that, only amla has been recommended to be consumed on a daily basis. Jackfruit, panasa. Jackfruit increases kapha a little bit too much. It is strength promoting. Okay, you can have jackfruit. Jackfruit has been mentioned. Okay, I would say go for seasonal food. Whatever fruit is available in the season, go for it. Along with scalp prep oil and hair growth oil, can you apply castor oil for hair? Because castor oil, in my opinion, see, castor oil is not Shita. Okay, Shashikar, it is not cooling. By property, it's not cooling. It only gives you that good structure or thing to the feeling for your hair. So scalp prep oil is basically to prepare your scalp, and the hair growth oil which follows after that provides nourishment to the hair roots. Okay, applying, if so there are a lot of people who are used to apply castor oil. Yes, the other days where you don't apply any oil, yes, you can apply castor oil, but castor oil, property wise, it is not cooling. Buttermilk used in curry is diluted curd and not authentic buttermilk made from full fat milk. See, very few people actually churn the curd, yogurt, take the butter out, and then make buttermilk. Okay, all of the people only add water to curd and dilute it and say it is buttermilk. So it is only diluted curd. That's all. Okay, so the curry which you make out of diluted curd is, I don't say it is that bad. Probably it might be better than curd, but I don't say it is Viruddha. You have got a tag and it hurts only when you pass motions multiple times. I don't think you have to do anything about it as long as it doesn't trouble you too much. Let it be there. But a tag is something which you can easily remove it. You can easily cast, what do you call that? Apply heat to it, Agni karma, and you can burn it. You can remove it. It's very simple to remove it. You can do it if you want to. No problem. Okay. Which is the best time to eat fruit in a day? Fruit is by and large, okay, there might be exceptions, but by and large, every fruit you consume cools the system down. and it is not good. So it is not good to basically take it in the later part of the day. So you can probably have it in the during the day. If is there as a quick remedy to cool the body if more body heat gets generated over time, the best thing to actually reduce the heat immediately is to take something for loose motions. The moment you pass loose motions, the pitta is lost and your body cools down. Okay, that might not be a solution, but still that's the best thing for you to do. If you consume grapes raisins, okay, I mean dry black raisins with seeds, okay, draksha we call it. If you take draksha, or if you take sugar cane juice, or if you take milk, or if you take ghee, also your body heat will come down. But to reduce it, take something for loose motions. Agastya Rasayana, I have I don't think gray hair recovery Agastya Rasayana will help. You can try it out. Agastya Rasayana, the first indication, primary indication for Agastya Rasayana or Agastya Haritaki, we call that. There's also another name for it, is for breathing issues. Okay, all respiratory issues, and you will definitely pass soft bowels after containing Agastya Rasayana. Okay, and sometimes it so happens that if you have been having it for 7 to 8 years, you might be addicted to it, and you might notice that if you don't take it, you might not be passing motions also freely. It is addictive. Just bear it in mind. Okay, so Nasya of Kshirabala. Kshirabala Nasya is actually good, but if you're thinking of actually reversing your gray hair, then it might not be so easy. Going towards gray hair is basically because of too much of pitta. Okay, so if you cut down on the amount of spicy food, sour food, or salt foods you consume, and not too much of exercise, not staying awake at night, only pitta is slightly kept under control. Kshirabala applying on the body is also very good. If you have to do Kshirabala Nasya, you do a little bit of steam inhalation, lie down facing upwards, your head hanging down, so the nostril is perpendicular to the floor. 2 to 3 drops in each nostril will actually help you do Nasya. Okay. What does pigmentation around the mouth indicate? Okay, so there is definitely a metabolic issue when you have got black spots, black discoloration around the corner of the lips. Okay, so your your metabolism is not actually doing really well. You have got metabolic issues. It can probably lead to diabetes, and just have a check on your cholesterol also. It might also have a little bit of cholesterol in your blood, and you might also feel a little bit lethargic. I would say you have to do a little bit of exercise on a daily basis. Okay, and external applications will help a little bit, but everything that will get your pitta up and reduce your kapha is the line of treatment for that. Does carrot, beetroot? I'm not a big, Shashikar, I'm not a very big fan of taking something raw like that on empty stomach, especially something which is very, very, very difficult to digest. The reason why I say beetroot and carrot is difficult to digest because it's predominantly sweet and it is underground. It promotes a lot of bulk. It actually, people say ABC, apple, beetroot, carrot juice. It has become extremely popular. I don't recommend to my patients. It's not easy to digest. It is raw, sweet, and heavy. Quatha and Arishta, main difference among the two, which is more beneficial? See, Quatha is a kashaya, it's a decoction, and Arishtam is a fermented preparation. Fermented preparation of a kashaya. Okay. So even if, say, suppose, just for example, you are taking Dashamula Kashaya and you are taking Dashamula Arishta. Okay. Even if both of them contain the same ingredients, both of them are actually given in different conditions depending upon the way the person can digest it. Okay, so it's not that which is more beneficial. Depending upon the condition, whether you have to give, there are different preparations. Even the Dashamula ghee you have got, the Dashamula tablet you have got. So it doesn't mean that just because it contains the same ingredient, it's got the same effect. No, the way it is made, it can be given in different conditions. Dashamula churna can be given in different conditions. Okay, so we can't say which is more benefit. Depends from condition to condition. How can women consume shatavari to balance hormone without milk? You have immediately put a clause over there. The best thing for to consume it is with milk. And if you don't want to consume it with milk, the best way to consume it is as lehyam. We normally say followed by milk. You can also take it with warm water. So shatavari lehyam is available, which you can consume and take milk on top of it. Can any person take viraj? Can any person take viraj and he does not? As he does take tobacco chewing. See, virechana can be taken. It all depends upon your strength, whether it is strong, moderate, or mild. Okay, if you feel that your tummy is not doing well, there are people who are not strong enough, but they have to take virechana. We give them nitya virechana, that means every day. So small dose, so it is soft virechana happening on a daily basis for a longer period of time. So to get that effect of one good virechana, it takes probably about a month or so if you take it in small doses. So I don't know why you want to take virechana, but if you want to take it, yes. But a person who is tobacco chewing will not have too much of strength. Okay, but yes, he can do virechana, no problem at all. Ayurveda has got a lot of things for oral sensitivity and teeth sensitivity. Yes, there is one very good thing called Ayurveda stylum, which works wonders for even for loose teeth. When the tooth starts becoming slightly, you feel that it doesn't have strength, the gums don't have strength. Ayurveda stylum, okay, or Ayurveda stylum. Ayurveda stylum is something which you can do oil pulling. It really helps. See, Mahatripala Ghritam has got so many effects, Mahatripala Ghritam, rather than putting in the eyes, you can. It's also good when you consume it for the eye. It's also very good when you consume it. In the eyes, it can be actually given as tarpana or even as anjana you can do. Okay. If probably I would say, Hira, you should go to an Ayurvedic eye expert who can explain this much better. But taking Triphala Ghritam, need not go for Mahatriphala, taking Triphala Ghritam on a regular basis will help you improve your eyesight, especially for people whose eyes go dry. Triphala Ghritam is very good to consume, and also for Anjana, or you can just apply in the eyes before you go to bed. See, ashgod juice is something which will reduce the pitta. Okay, and we call it also Vishahara. It removes a lot of poisons, and especially when people are exposed to too much of antibiotics or sulfa drugs. Okay, taking ashgod juice for 7 days or 14 days early morning on the empty stomach is actually good to remove that sulfur deposits from the system. It is actually good to take. But if you are a person who's got a tendency to catch cold pretty fast, it might not be a nice option. I don't know, Hariharan, how do you say whether it's probiotic? Okay, all fermented foods need not be probiotic. I don't think whiskey or brandy is probiotic. Okay, alcohol, it's basic self-generated ethyl alcohol. Okay, so it is. I don't think it is probiotic. Yellow teeth, If it is mild yellow, it might be your nature probably. It's not that everybody's got white teeth, and white teeth is only for advertisements, and people want white teeth, and sometimes white teeth don't look natural. If it is extremely yellow, then I would say regular usage of there's something called, I don't in Kerala we get something called umi curry. It is the rice bran burnt, and you add salt and pepper into it, and that is basically used to brush the teeth. It actually cleans and makes it white. Okay, it is available in the market. You can check it out. Umikari, umi curry. It's a Malayalam word. How Grita will help to increase Agni? Puja, Grita or honey, Grita or ghee, when taken in small quantities, note that point, will actually increase the Agni. But if you take in excess, just like you have got a fire and you add a little bit of honey, drop by drop, you can see the fire actually coming up. But if you pour too much of honey at one go, boop, the fire will go down, right? So likewise, the same way, when ghee consumed in small quantities, it will actually keep the Agni burning. Okay. No, Grita is not indicated in Agni Mandya person. A person with Agni Mandya is very less. If he's got a little bit of Agni, yes, you can slowly start giving little by little, and then increases Agni. The person doesn't have Agni at all, then you can't give. Can we lose significant weight by Udvartana? Okay. Udvartanam kapaharam medasa pravilayanam. Okay. Udvartanam is basically reduces kapha and also reduces medas or fat. Okay. But there is a limit to which we can use, because we are not removing anything. Udvartanam is a process where it is dry powder massage, where a lot of force is applied on the tummy and or other parts of the body. The fat is broken, and you see that the amount of fat which you consume has to go down, and you should be engaged in a lot of physical activity. Then the broken fat is actually reabsorbed and used. Okay, it does not remove the fat. Udvartana. I think Kavita, we can connect on this. Okay, power of my islands, or I'll put you to the right person who can actually handle your eye power. Okay, treatments are there. I'm not an expert in it, but whenever a person with eye issues come, I refer them to an expert. Okay, it all depends upon your age, your power, and what all other complications you have. I think this could be the last question. Okay, we have already close to 1 hour. Remedy for gas. Gas is something which any metabolism, gas is generated. Period. It all depends upon whether you have got excess of gas and the gas is extremely smelly. And somebody says they don't have gas at all, I don't want to believe it. A little bit of gas is definitely gonna be there. But if it is too much, then you have got a problem with your digestion. So that digestion has to be taken care of. See what food you're eating. You might be allergic to something, that is something which is creating gas. Or you might not be eating food on time. Okay, you have to make your lifestyle changes and see what you're eating. Yes, medicines we can definitely give, Ashta Churnam works for that, Hingujadi Churnam works for that, and Arishtam said Jeeraga Ashtam works for that. Even just drinking Jeera boiled water will actually help you combat gas. But you have to understand why the gas is being formed first. Chetna, yes, I do online consultations. Yes, if you go to my Instagram profile, there is a link from where you can book a slot, and yes, I do online consultations. Okay, I think let us probably wind up the session because it's getting very, 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 very late. Okay, if you have got any other questions, I think you can probably ask in the next session. Okay, it's almost an hour. Okay, thank you. See you next week.